What's up guys? Today we're going to talk about what is a mobile home. Do you ever wonder what a mobile home is? Today we're going to dive into what exactly is a mobile home. So let's get started. So number one is understanding mobile homes. A lot of people sometimes call them, sometimes refer to them as trailers, as manufactured homes. There's many different terminologies around this, but usually what we're discussing today is a mobile home that's in a mobile home community or a mobile home park. Mobile homes or manufactured homes are prefabricated housing structures that were built off-site in a factory setting, and then it's transported to its final destination, which is normally a mobile home park or a community. And these homes are actually designed to be movable for these communities and offer the flexibility and affordability to the homeowners. Now let's start talking about the mobile home park itself. Some people also refer to this as a manufactured home community, a mobile home park, or just a community. So mobile home communities are parks that provide a unique living environment for their residents. It's usually a plot of land that has somewhere between 5 to 500 units. It actually can be even more than that. But these mobile home parks have lots. So each dedicated lot is meant for a specific mobile home, which is meant for a specific resident or family. So these mobile home parks typically will have shared communities that they have all of their residents be able to have as an amenity for living there, such as their swimming pool. They'll often have a billiards room or a gym and a spa. And these amenities are shared amenities for the residents that are there. And they'll usually have a clubhouse that will allow for them to host events. And usually you'll often find as well is that in these communities, they host HOA or the neighbors themselves host events such as potlucks, barbecues, Christmas parties, in order for them to really get to know each other and share experiences and really have that energy of community within these parks. I love it, especially in senior communities when you see that they're well connected and have that sense of involvedness into their community. These parks often have their own set of regulations and guidelines to ensure that the neighbors are all put to a certain standard. They don't want you leaving trash laying around. They don't want you painting your mobile home bright neon pink, kind of like an HOA. They want to make sure that there's a certain level of standard, whether it's landscaping, whether it's making sure that your siding of your home isn't tearing off, right? So these are things that they want to make sure is good. They also have safety guidelines. They want to make sure that the steps to your porch are not wobbly for someone to trip and fall and get hurt. They also want to make sure the railing is all correct, and they also maintain the utilities of your home. So the water, the plumbing, the electricity, they manage all of these infrastructure issues to make sure that your living experience in these mobile home parks are up to code and are a great standard for you to live in. Also, as part of a mobile home park, they'll often have a mobile home park manager. This is a person and staff that the community can go out and reach out to if they have any issues with the facilities, with the recreation room, with the amenities. They're actually required to have someone on site for any form of utility emergency or stuff like that. Usually this is the person you go to if you have any issues paying your rent, if any form of safety issues. And so I mentioned rent. Let's talk about that a little bit. There's usually a lot rent or a space rent for each resident that claims a lot in that specific mobile home park. So this payment is actually because the residents that own these mobile homes that are above ground don't actually own the land below. Now, because they don't own the land below, they're leasing it or they're renting it from the mobile home park itself. And there's a lot of pros to that. It keeps the homes affordable. It allows for them not to have to pay property tax. And there's many different benefits to that as well. And we can dive deeper on that in another video. Now let's talk about the construction and the standards of these mobile homes. So we have a wide range of mobile homes. Most homes are actually built in the 70s and we call them pre-HUD. It's usually a 1978 and older, where the standards were not that high. You'll have metal exterior, you'll have metal framing, you'll usually see a lot of paneling and plastic materials in many cases. These are when these homes were really meant to be built temporarily. Now, these were still built in factories at those times, and they were also delivered on site into these mobile home parks back in the 70s or 60s as well. But as time progressed and as the years gone by, they started building more and more strict building standards on how these are built. HUD is one of those those entities that ensure the quality of how these homes have to be built, whether it's fire safety, whether it's the roof standard, whether it's the insulation of these homes, whether it's how they withstand different weather elements, earthquakes, hurricanes, that sort of thing. They want to make sure that these have a certain level of quality for a family to be able to live there, and it's not just a tin box, right? So the construction standards of these are now, in today's age, very heavily inspected, and they are held up to a very high standard. And that's what we're doing now, is building these mobile homes to as beautiful as we can, so that we can beautify the experience. Because what we see and what we know, often the stigmas around mobile homes are very negative. And that might be because what we see in Hollywood is like Breaking Bad or Eminem, and it's very poverty or very low stigmas around this. Where the truth of it is, a lot of these mobile home parks, these communities, and even the homes are at a much higher level and actually look very beautiful nowadays. Now let's go back to construction and talk about the features and the design. So mobile homes have a variety of different sizes. We have, first off, there's different sections. There's single wides, there's double wides, and triple wides. What that means is when it goes off of the line out of the factory, it'll either come as a one piece enclosed, and that's the single wide, or it'll come in two half, which is the most common in our area, and then built together on site, and that would be a double wide. And very rarely, we'll often have lots that can accommodate for a triple wide as well, which is three pieces that come together for a huge, humongous home. Now let's talk a little bit about the affordability and the benefits of mobile home parks and mobile homes in general. One of the key advantages of mobile homes is the affordability itself. So these homes are, because they're built in factories, are generally way more cost effective than those traditionally built, site-built homes. When you're building a home on site, that means you have to transport labor, you have to transport material. We have to do a lot of heavy lifting to get everything to that location to be able to build those homes at the actual site. Now, when we build these in factories, just like how everything we own now, the remote, the iPhones, the laptops, the cars, that is how we were able to drop the production cost, is by having it in an assembly line in a factory-like setting. And that's what we're trying to do now, is build homes in an effective way at a low cost. Now, because of that, that's one of the elements of how we're able to keep the cost low of these homes in comparison to stick-built homes. Now, the other reason of how we're able to keep the cost low is because you don't actually own the land itself. Now, one of the pros to that is that these often are considered affordable housing options for cities. So, for example, in San Jose, they have the requirement of what they have to have as affordable housing. So in areas like this, one of the perks is that they can only be resident owned. So the people that live in these mobile home parks and own a mobile home itself, they cannot purchase these out to rent it out to another individual. They can't purchase 4 different homes to rent it out to other people as an investment. The people that are actually owning these mobile homes in these mobile home parks actually need this as their primary residence. And because of that, and the pro to that is that a low-income family that's looking to purchase one of these are not competing with rich investors or hedge funds that want to get this as an investment. They're only competing with other families that actually need this as a home. And because of that, and the result of that is that nobody's driving these prices to be extremely high. And every time this home gets sold, it's actually to a family that needs it as their primary residence. So that's really our quick summary of what mobile homes are. Hopefully that brought value to you. If you like our stuff, please subscribe to our channel, and thanks for watching Franco Mobile Homes. Take care.